Hey guys, see a comment from Mark and from Peter. G'day. Yeah, I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm feeling a bit disenchanted with this whole late night thing, but we'll see how we go. Down the shed again. I'm stuffed. It's a stinking hot day. It got to 32 here. I worked in a tin shed and handled blocks of timber all day. Come home and had a cool shower and got dressed and did some laundry, and I was feeling a little bit like I sat down on the computer for a bit. Did some marketplace sort of browsing. Hey, Bridge 39 where you are. Mark Osborne, good day. So, wasn't a lot happened today, to be honest. After work, here in the workshop, there's a few things that have been happening. We've got a bug problem here. We need a bug zapper at some point. I have one, it's just a matter of setting it up. If we have a look up here at the light, probably can't see that. There's bugs everywhere.
Get that. Could you try again?
Watch Siri trying to talk to me. Sorry, guys. What have I done? Don't know personally. What have I done? We had a working bee on Saturday and Sunday. I felt like what I probably did was babysit the drunks, but that's a matter of opinion. And the level I did it, it won't happen again. I promise you that. But anyway, Dan and Shane put this door in the back of the shed, which wasn't there before, which is excellent. Really good job. Proper flashing on the outside and all that sort of stuff. Still haven't rerouted the electricity, but it's there. Evening, Bill. So that was one thing that got done, which was very excellent. There were some earthworks outside. There's a bit of a level clearing out the back for a pole shed and some accommodation for me. That was a bit of a job. And there's a level area out the front that wasn't there before, out that way. You can't see in the dark, but there is a level area where the sawmill will eventually be in a couple of years. He's not terrible when he keeps his clothes on, and probably about 15 beers should be the limit. And I reckon he drank double that. He didn't make a mess. He had 3 showers because he forgot he had one. And yeah, he's wandering around in the dark with no clothes on. So apart from that, I'm not sure what's funny about this, but anyway, that's how that worked. We probably need to have a look at their drug and alcohol policy again with him. However, I thought he was in bed and finally managed to go inside and cook myself some dinner and got another full frontal. And said he had a towel and then he lost his towel and couldn't find his towel. And he was walking around outside with bare feet after a shower to dry off and tracked muddy footprints all through my clean kitchen again. So I was sort of probably not really all that enamoured about spending Saturday night with him. And then I had to wake him up at 6:10 and tell him I was leaving for about the 5th time, and he got out okay. But yeah, Yeah, something like that, Mark. Also makes me very suspicious that the campground he runs down there is probably a naturalist camp, because he does have an all-over tan, and it's not very often you see someone in his age group who has an all-over tan, like with no gaps, unless they're a naturalist. So I'm just saying that probably don't go to his place uninvited. On Saturday night he was good, and on Saturday he was very helpful. If he'd gone home Saturday night he would have been great and very much welcome back. But Sunday night was getting a bit much, and I reckon he drank. Seriously, I could count them, but if we're going to go there, probably 30 Cooper Reds. Anyway. No, we're just talking, Mark. New member. Great bloke. Very helpful, hard worker. Just, he makes up for it after dark. So, another big addition here at the shed. Is recycling bins. These bins are a mistake for a couple of reasons. They're 100 litre, right, which is okay, but you can't buy bin liners for them. So rethink this decision if you think that's what you want. Rethink it. Go for 240s that you can buy bin liners for, or go for 80 litre garbage tins that you can also get bin liners for. Anyway, they're there now. All sorted, very good. The mill's been moved over this side of the shed, in behind the portable. Portable won't stay there forever, but this is sort of its forever home, more or less, within about a foot, or bar it around where it fits. So we moved that while we had the excavator here. What else? Oh gosh, there's a little bit of launch progress. There's stuff being put away over here. It's an ongoing process and we're getting there. I've actually stripped the bed down. Anyway, yeah. I did strip the bed down, or started stripping the bed down. It's still a work in progress. We're getting there, so we're going to put new paint on that. So that's launch update. I've also, oh my gosh, I'm old. Also started in on this cover. Putting some filler in the rim around here nicely, and a bit of filler around here. This is all on nice now. Looks good. And the rim around here. So this is work in progress, but it's happening. This is all in bits over here. We have got new paint or new varnish on the bench, and we've cut that piece out as we anticipated around here. This has still got to be painted, and I've got new bolts for it, but this does fit here now, which is excellent. So that's got to screw in place when that gets a coat of paint. Peter, yeah, something like that. So that's working. This needs a coat of paint because it's pretty badly stained up and scratched. So now it's apart, we might give it a bit of a rough up, sand up, and put another coat of paint on it. Splash guard needs putting back in place. I've given that a good clean up. It's about as far as that goes. And then this probably won't be repainted, the line shaft, but it will go back in place, and then we can start putting bits. So that's a job that's happening. I spent a bit of time on this on Sunday night. We're in amongst trying to send Shane to bed, which I wasn't very successful about. He was all for having another beer and making me have one too, and I didn't. So, yeah, while we're on it, I got coach bolts, stainless coach bolts, which are quite nice. I don't know if that's what we're going to use, but it probably is. If I file square holes in here, we can put this down flush and it looks nice and it's not going to collect as much swarf and be easier to clean. That's the theory. So to do that, I'm going to have to get in with a square file and file these holes out. Maybe. I probably don't need it actually, probably they're oversized. Actually, these aren't the bolts I bought, these are some I had in stock, because the other ones I bought are bigger, so 12 mil. So these need filing out to put them in. I might do that, and we can bolt all that in place and get all this going. So that's where we're at. It's a bit of a job, but it's happening. Put the lid back on the Terps. It's been off for a day. Been reading this book at work. It only just came in here the other day. New book. Metal Casting and Sand Casting Manual for the Small Foundry, Volume 2. This is a very good book, if anyone's interested. Very good book on sand and tools and basic foundry problems and gating, coring, moulding, and 1,000 other things. Very good book. So, highly recommend this one. I haven't got volume 1 and doesn't seem to be in print. So, I'm still looking really for a sand casting manual for the small foundry volume 1. But I don't know where you actually buy it, to be honest. If anyone sees it for sale, let me know. Good book. I'm sure volume 1's just as good. Streams are too early. Yeah, sorry about that. Mark has a problem that's too early or it's too late. I don't know. For me, it's a bit late because I've got to start work pretty early, to be honest. Daylight savings a bit of a pain, but anyway. It's still sort of half daylight till an hour ago. So they're things that are actually absolutely happening. Got some blocks of wood, and William dropped off some blocks of wood yesterday. We've got 4 of these, which I put my boot beside it, so they're fair lumps of wood. And I reckon 2 of them can go under this to move it around while we restore it. 2 of them will go on that stool over there with some casters under them. And it should be pretty good and solid. So that's that. Finished a pattern for a friend's 8 horsepower Marshall traction engine. This is a big end pattern. That's ready to go. William also picked a block of timber for me, which is great, to hold these two sticker boards together at the top because they are a bit fragile. This is a bit wobbly. If we put this across here and hold them together, maybe put a block of wood behind them so that they're nice and solid. I don't know about that actually, but it'd be nice to have them solid. And then there's a sign there that says amazing that was in my old workshop that might go up the top there. I'm probably going to put a shelf along the top for models, I think, if we can get it solid enough. Just to put some modelling on. Get them out of the way for a bit at some point. So probably this Allen key set here needs to go on here too. I don't know whether I'm going to put them down here. Maybe we're within reach. I don't know. Still working on that. No thoughts. Paint stripper. That's the other thing. Using this stuff, which is really nice. I'm a big Norglass fan, and everyone knows this. Everyone should know this. Big fan of Norglass. It's an Australian paint manufacturer. But they do this orange peel gel paint stripper, which is very good. I like this. Doesn't stink too bad, and it's all right, and it's biodegradable. And it's very, very effective, so it's good stuff. If anyone's looking for a decent paint stripper, it's good stuff. So that's another thing. The mill's gone from that side of the roller. There's still some stuff there, but this basket's probably coming off the roller in this next weekend if I get time. And we'll push the roller back at some point, back into here somewhere, past all this stuff when it's all put away. And then there'll be two portables in the front. And that leaves this half of the workshop for actual machines and things and projects. So we're not going to expect it's like your lounge room all the time and nice and tidy, but we are going to have a bit of a plan to have some workflow happening so that we can actually do some stuff. But it's going to be a working workshop. It's not just a display workshop. Stuff we've got to do. What else? Got clamps on the wall. Don't know if that's an ideal place for them. Probably there's a lot of stuff that needs putting up on the wall. If anyone has or seen or looked at, or anyone online has seen made a decent, like 900 long steel rack, something like that, to go on a wall like that, that would be very helpful. I'd like to put a steel rack on the wall there, probably two racks, 600 wide or 600 apart, so that I can put things like threaded bar and steel offcuts and welding consumables and stuff like that on it out of the way. That's the theory. So, updates on locks and things. This is just broken, this box. But we've got it open, we've got it filled up. So we've got lathe parts in here, tool holders, tools, drill chucks, stuff like that, basic lathe stuff. We've got collets in here, where they should be, and drawbars. Needs a screw in this catch. We've got assorted lathe junk in there. We've got step collets and ring chucks and things in there. We've got chucks in that one, etc. So that's happening. All my mill stuff's sort of in there. Some of it's okay, some of it's not. There's a bit of an enigma happening here. It's this one. No, it's not that one. That's the boring head. Let's have a look. It's this one. This adapter, which my dad made, it's very good, except it doesn't work. Let's have a look at it and see why it doesn't work. The 2 times that I have used it, it's not been good, and I don't understand why it doesn't work. But in this yellow box, which actually I was going to get out, but I'm not going to, is a nice multi-tip face cutter, about 4 inches diameter. It's got 2 keys in it and an arbor, and this screws in and it's got a bolt and a washer underneath. The cutter fits this arbor very well. It's got a Morse taper, and this fits the drawbar. However, when you put this in the spindle of the mill and do the drawbar up, the thing seizes up. Now, I don't know why that is so. I don't know what causes it. I never had any problem with any other Morse taper in there, including drill chucks and my ER collet chucks and my Morse taper collets. All those sort of stuff all work fine. This, for some reason, seizes up. I don't know whether it's touching on something here, or whether it's touching on something here, or whether it's just putting a stress somewhere. Anyway, don't know why that is. It's a bit of a mystery. But it's something that's we're going to investigate at some point when we get the mill going. Maybe the tape is slightly wrong. It would be a bit unusual. I don't know. It seems to lock in okay, and it seems to be hard to get out. But I don't know where it's touching. I'm going to blow it up and find out. It's not a bad thing, but you can buy one off the shelf. It's a Kennametal face cutter. It's a very nice one, and the mill's more than capable of running it. It's just that this particular arbor isn't any good for it. There is another one here which made me think of it, which is very similar, and that might just fit on it. If it does, we could see if that actually fits in it, but this has got different cutters in it. I'm not sure, but all these other Morse taper arbors I've got fit. It's a bit of a mystery. And I think it's just a Morse taper hole in a bit of bar, in a steel spindle. I don't think there's anything more complicated than that in it. And I've got drawbars and everything that are all the right length. I don't know. Anyway, at some point I'll mess around with that and find out. Push comes to shove, I'll probably just buy a new arbor for it. Got some storage put away here. Got this put away. This is just mostly files and smaller files, things like that. Rubber stones. Ground flat, other rubber stones. Needle files, all that sort of stuff. Diamond paper, special files, all that. And this one is basically just files. It needs a bit of a clean up and tidy up, but that's what that is. Bill says it may just need a wash or a shim. That's sort of wondering what I'm thinking at. I don't think it's very much. It might just need 1/8 of an inch off the top of it, or it might need a shim underneath or something. I don't know what it is, but anyway, we'll have a look. This is the sort of junk in here. This is everything that was on the bench that we just tossed in here. A lot of it seems like too good stuff to throw out, like all this magnet steel. Grinding wheel dresser. A set of thin vice jaws, Starrett ones. Stanley trimmer, if you're looking for a knife, which I have been for a week. Big flat soldering iron. 2 roller pieces that are surplus to requirements. Pair of little Starrett vices, and then the other one's there somewhere. Pretty confident. Round profile cutter. Yeah, the other vice is in the corner there. Taps and dies. One of those little drill arbor things there. Didn't know I had that because I threw out a heap of those abrasive discs, but they're not very expensive. If I'd known I had it, I probably would have kept it. There's some high-speed steel. So all this stuff needs sorting through and cleaning up. This is a thickness gauge, but not of particular use because it measures, I think, in lines, which is 1/12 of a Swiss inch. I think that's what it measures in. Let's go 1. What's that? Don't know. Anyway, not particularly useful. Even for a watchmaker, there's a pair of odd lead calipers, which probably is very useful. Air cylinder, which is also probably very useful. So this is one of those drawers. There's a lot of stuff in here that may or may not be very useful. There's a scraper gauge. And an automatic centre punch, which would be very useful at work. I might take that to work. A file handle. Anyway, that's what the sort of things you find in a random sort of tool drawer. It's a laser engraving head. There's a little pin punch. Also might be useful at work. This has got a mammoth wheel and some bits for Chirpy's boiler. A set of cut-out dress-up cards, like paper dolls, some paper dolls and trousers, stuff like that, which probably come in a box of something that I bought somewhere. It's a stud extractor that my grandfather made at Tech. It's a very good stud extractor, actually. Another one of them is not the same one, of a different age and a different manufacturer. A set of tapered reamers, pin reamers. There's another one of them. So there's a Presso sticker, and a pair of tweezers that are average in quality, and a fork screwdriver for tools. It's a propeller. So there's a 3D printed thread cover for a launch collet. We could put that over in the launch box. It's high-speed steel tapered shank drill, 14mm diameter. Yep, we have a brand new 14mm diameter Moss Taper 1 drill. Very useful. Probably will be useful at some point. All this stuff's got to go through and I've got to clean it out, find out, work out what we're going to do with it. We've got stuff like that bag full of springs and injector pump bits and stuff and O-rings and stuff that probably need to do something with that. I don't know what. There's another bottle in the back there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's another bottle in the back full of brass gears. So it's just a matter of spending some time and getting everything sorted out, but it's a big job. We're getting there, but it's a big job. Any bits for a hardness tester is all in a box upstairs. So I have it all, absolutely, Bill. That's probably a Tuesday night project at some point to finish that. Sooner rather than later. Sign boxes on here. All my taps and dies and specialist screws are in those boxes. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. It makes them hard to find. It makes them easy to find, but it makes them difficult to dig out. You've got to shift everything to get through it. Taps and dies are all up here. There's a flashing light, which may or may not be useful. There's a big box of reamers there that need sorting out. There's some random air tools and machinist tools and woodworking tools and stuff on this rack. There's a tumbler up here for metal parts finishing. I'm not sure whether that's a useful thing or not. Maybe I need to move that on. I'm not sure whether I'll ever use it again. There's a 20 amp or a 15 amp three-phase plug there in the box, which is no use to anything at all because we've got 30 amp power points here. But I'll hang on to it for a bit longer. Maybe someone will want it, a Christian or someone could use it. It's brand new. Now, I did find the key for this. I managed to get this open because it inadvertently locked. This is my Kennedy. It's a process. This is my Kennedy signature box. Love it. But it's got one of these fancy keys. Which locks everything. This has just got a cam lock on here, which is probably overkill with these keys. And then it's got two pins that come down through the drawers, or come down through the top piece. So to lock the rest, we won't put that in there because we've been caught like that before. This panel goes in here as such. Right. Then this goes down. If we hold this down, which is absolutely a two-handed job, maybe, not winning there. There we go. This holds two spring-loaded pins down and stops this coming out. So it's not at all secure. However, we've busted one of these catches at some point. I don't know where. And this top piece here is missing off this one. So if anyone has any thoughts about replacing that, I did reach out to Kennedy and say how much for a couple of catches. They are riveted in place, so it's a bit of a job to actually do them. But postage and new catches were sort of prohibitive. Not as prohibitive as a new key, but we've managed to sort that. Let's put this together maybe. So they've got rivets like this on the inside. Don't know what to do about that. If I could get the parts or make the parts or something. It's just sort of clipped in place there in the back. It's a bit crap. For a Kennedy box, it's a bit crap. So anyway, that's something else we sorted. We'll get to it, Bill. I'd like to get all those projects finished and out of the way. There's a few of them. This is also full of random stuff that I'm not sure what we're gonna do with it all. There's a Seiko Niagara tool speed gauge, which is quite useful if you know where it is. It's a set of calipers. There's a little Craftmaster box with a parting tool that's next to useless. If someone wants that, I'd probably give that to someone. There's a blue box with a number 1 Morse taper and a number 2 Morse taper sleeve in it, also useless. It's a keychain with some earplugs in it, some more earplugs. Aussie Machines, what's in this one? Morse taper number 1 collet. Not sure why I have that. Probably for the Centec milling machine. There's several of them there. So all this needs going through. There's a lot of stuff I won't be keeping. There's a Turn-Right Machine sticker, which is what come with the box, I imagine. There's another Toolmaker's clamp there. Now, in true Tom Lipton style, there's a pocket protector. I feel like not everyone wears it as thanks, Bill. Not everyone wears a pocket protector nowadays, and I feel that that's a missed opportunity. I feel like William Mackie is probably just coming into his pocket protector era. This goes in your top pocket, right? And you put your stuff, your ruler and stuff in there. And then your pocket doesn't get damaged or broken in the bottom and doesn't get holes in it. So, not something you see a lot, but I have one. I have a very useful chart. If you ever see one of these, this is a socket screw, Umbraco socket screw chart, data chart. This is a useful thing, right? It shows all the different types of screws, and you set there up here in the corner. You set the size. On this side, it's imperial, and on this side, I think it's metric. Yep. So the card slides in and out, and you set this size here, and that gives you all your measurements. So if you slide this centre through, so that this is a M. See, this says M6 up there. It tells us that it takes a 3mm, 3.0 Allen head. It tells us the thread pitch. It tells us the height of the head and the diameter of the head. And the socket head countersunk Allen key and all the angles. Screw pitches and all that stuff. So very useful, an imperial on the other side. That's something that's worth having. My old man had that. It's absolutely a good thing. Here is a, what have we got? Sutton drill chart. I've got so many drill charts. Here's our walk the talk. This was a Keith Fenner sticker from way back before he was a Make America Great Again guy. But very cool. I've got a share line, tap and drill size, or a decimal equivalent chart. I've got 2 wall plugs. I've got a set of heat treat dies that I made back in the day when I first got my oven with different colours on them. Got a 2 to 3 inch micrometer, which probably doesn't belong in this drawer. I've got a rivet set and a centre punch and another rivet set and a heap of old screws that need putting away. Good job. In this side we've got a micrometer box with no micrometer. We've got the dividers out of the toolbox, and we've got some forceps and an automatic mechanical pencil and a snap-on 1/4 inch tapered pin punch. Don't know if that's out of my set or not. Got some random micrometers in here. We've got a set of radius gauges. We've got the stuff that needs putting away. We've got one of several small hole micrometers. I know I have another one here somewhere. I've got no idea where it is. There's another micrometer, some thread pitch gauges. Go no go gauge. Some plastic filler applicators. Big set of verniers. I've got a lot of junk. Sliding bevel. Got a big sliding bevel down there on the wall if someone's looking for it to do some building that I made at trade school many years ago. Got a decent chisel. There we go, it's a nice chisel. It says it's a Titan. Could do with a sharpen. Nice joinery chisel. I've got what looks like a dial test indicator mount. I've got a set of drills. Protractor. Some got a more and right micrometer box. What's in that? Little more and right micrometer. A little fella with the short. Interesting. I'm not sure I'll be my final stop, so I'm not going to promise I can do that, Dan, but I'll talk to you about it at some point in the next couple of days. So that's what's in the Kennedy chip box. It's got quite a lot of useful content in there. So something's come open there. I'm going to have to work on that. But there's probably more use for this box than just storing junk in it. Going to have to do something about it. There's another more and right micrometer case. Back in the day, that's how they were. More and right. This one's still got the lining on it. Thread pitch micrometer. Have a set of those somewhere. Map reading loop, or drawing reading loop. Set of little boring bars. Some bearings. All sorts of stuff in the top here. I need to give this a bit of a clean up. Set of plug cutters for covering up screw holes in furniture. Transistor. Sometimes it's fun just looking through stuff. There's a set of keys for the bottom of a rotary table that I got rid of. There's a tap for something. Some spring clamps, we can put them away. And a 5/8 bolt also go somewhere. Bit of rubber hose, could probably go in the bin. Mr. Pete's no machine tools steam engine, which actually worked, but it was a bit of a challenging project. Anyway, this box come back with me from America. It's a Craftsman. Sears Roebuck, I believe, Craftsman. Maybe I'm wrong. Craftsman was made by someone. It's an American box. I bought it at a swap meet to king some stuff back. So it's got things like a pair of digital verniers that don't work. It's got the dividers out that black tool chest down there. It's got a nice set of trammel points and a slitting saw that needs to go in the slitting saw box. I know where that is. There's a joiner. Bearing tool bits. There's a heap of them here. Too good to throw out, but otherwise. There's the next size up pipe cutter we were looking for. That's where that is. It won't be there when you come back. It's probably going to be in that black box down the bottom with the other one, I think, or probably in the green box where we found this. If you put it back, it'll be in here. You did put it back. The pipe cutters are in that box, fridge, if you need them. There you go. I found some steel rules. What have we got here? .5/16 to the foot shrink roll. Somewhat useful. 5/16 to the foot, that's a lot of shrink. What are we casting at 5/16 to the foot? What's that in percentage, someone? 5/16 to the foot. 5/16 is 16/16 to the inch. 12/16 is 10/16 is 160. 12/16 is 192. 592. Half that, 2.5%, something like that. Am I right? 3%, something like that. 3% shrink roll. What are we casting with 3% shrink? No idea. But anyway, I've got one. This is a Craft-Right, crappy Bunnings combination square ruler. There's a puller in here. May or may not be useful for something one day. It's another Moore and Wright thread micrometer, 2 of them. So we're getting closer to a full set of them. There's a bearing scraper that could probably do with a sharpen. There's a screwdriver. We'll put that in there. It's a bit of dowel. There's another files are a bit rough. I've got Probably going to get some laser light sheathing or something with some corrugations in it, or print something to put them in. I've been meaning to do that for about 100 years. Another roll of electrical tape, blue in colour. Could put that with the other one. Fence off a power saw. 3 cobalt high-speed steel cobalt or box of cobalt axle blades. Hide them because someone else will use them. There's some toolmaker's clamps, which are not a particularly useful thing. Some Morse taper dead center. There's a caster that I thought might be useful because someone was throwing it out. And a set of bevel gears. No idea. Bill bought a pipe cutter and discovered where the other one was when he put it away in a logical place. That's the only thing I ever bought at the Sears Roebuck store was a set of Craftsman miniature ring spanner, ring and open openers. They're not a bad set of spanners, but they're a bit thick on the ends. Anyway. Scott and Tara's sick. Or Scott's sick, sorry. What else we got? Another useless screwdriver. We'll put that in here with this one. Set of Stanley, set of Sid Chrome. Point spanners. Nice set. Okay. A bottle. There you go, very useful bottle. That's a mercury bottle from the Goldfields. It says, "We guarantee an ounce of metal, not a bottle full." Very cool. Ryco air fitting. Spring tip for my slam hammer. There should be another one somewhere with a self-tapper on it, which is also very useful for panel work. There's a parts brush, or such. Another crappy screwdriver, this time with a place for a spanner on the end. It's a bit ordinary. Dentist mirror, 2 dentist mirrors. Sharpie and a pencil. Pair of pliers, we can put the pair of pliers down here too. Another air filler. Jeweller's lathe, watchmaker, a set of turns. Probably not a bad little set of turns actually. Probably they need a box made for them. I don't like them kicking around in here, but they were on the shelf at home and I just put them in here. What we got? No idea what that is. A polishing head for a WW watchmaker's lathe. Pretty bad Champion spark plug box. Scott, there it is. We've just been through that. That's it. It's my Kennedy signature box. We were just despairing about how useless it is. It's not useless, but it's broken at the moment. I don't know how to fix it. Need a trip to America, maybe. Now, my snap-on screwdrivers go in here. They're a curse and a blessing. There's a couple missing, which means that they're probably out here on the bench somewhere and I could put them away. This drawer has a damper or a dash pot for a machine. No idea why it's in there. Spindle nose protector for my lathe. A 3/8 UNC button die. New in its box. A good ratcheting tap wrench. Don't need them in the fridge because apparently he strips them. And all sorts of other tap wrenches and tap dies and things. It's the Morse taper one Arbor. and a set of, I think they're leatherwork tools, but they're particularly useful. These ones are particularly useful for pattern making. There's a Morse Taper 1 drill chuck, which probably come with my lathe. It doesn't fit anything on my lathe. Don't know. That's 15 years ago and I haven't thrown it out. It's a pair of thread cutters for cotton. It's a safety valve. Scalpel. So, and that's a combination lock that was on this box when I brought it over from America. I think I bought this from, can't remember who I bought it from, someone at Barzy, someone back. There's a Craftsman box. So that's the sort of crap that we've got here that needs sorting out. This box here has been sorted out, I believe, and I'll put it up here. This is full of, hey Amber, this is full of casting patterns. There's a new works plate for the roller. There's a plastic bag sealer there that probably someone could have if they wanted it. My big router's here, and an air compressor which I've already given away. There's a Myford Boy, I'll zoom in so I don't have to bend over. There's a Myford Boy air motor casting set there. This box has parts for my bandsaw. My oven is tucked away down there at the moment. It needs a forever home. There's the rest of the bandsaw there, leaning up against the wall. So, on this box is the D-bit grinder. A pendant drill handpiece that is surplus. Pendant drill handpiece that's surplus. Leave that with me. What's with the tool review? Oh no, we're just cleaning out, so we're just going through junk. My bits and pieces belong in here for my tool and cutter grinder. So that's in here. If I do tend to top myself, at least Fridge knows where everything is. My multimeter's here, which is a fluke, which means that every time you pull it out, it's an absolute fluke if the terminals haven't corroded and you don't have to order a new set off eBay. It's a box of scrap tungsten carbide there if you want to make a tool. My surface plate and my precision straight edges there. My cylinder squares there, which is very, very nice one. I haven't looked in this box since I moved, to be honest. Didn't look at it before I moved. There's a box full of flat belts. We have a compression tester set. This bottom box in the bottom, let's have a look. There's a new ROM drill chuck. There's silica gel in a jar. There's a roll of macrame cord. There's a drill chuck with a number 3 Morse taper on it. Some mariners and things. There's a Keith Fenner turn right tool. YouTube Keith. T-slot cleaner. Useful. I left that there because it's with my vice handle. There's a set of metal punches for sheet metal. There's a swarf brush. And there's my second best set of V-blocks. This box here has a height gauge in it. Here is my bead roller. I dropped my glasses, crap. Other vacuum cleaner bags, stuff like that. Anyway. Moved to country New South Wales. So all that stuff is in there. Anyway, that's from here through to here. A lot of this stuff's got to go. Oh, it's got to be put out on shelves, or it's got to be cleaned up, or it's got to be sorted out. I'd like a lot more stuff in these toolboxes. This is pliers and hand tools in the yellow one. This is spanners in the orange one. And this is useless hand tools that are like pry bars and pipe wrenches and things like that that we don't need every day in that useless cantilever toolbox that was thrown out and something else made. I bought these off Marketplace, this one and this one, for $20. Now, this could probably go in the bin because that one's worth $20. It's a nice little box. It's a Stanley. Anyway, I use it, but it's variable to the extreme. I have a set of pin punches which are still out because there's one missing and I don't know where they are. I have to dig around and find them. There's some taps and dies there that look like they're probably pipe taps and dies or fine thread or something. Pipe. They need putting somewhere safe. There's my good combination square set, which is out, obviously. There's my second best hacksaw, which is free to a good home, actually. Because if you ever get an opportunity to buy one of these hacksaws, buy something else. Car steering's become optional. It's not good. Now, this saw has a problem. We haven't dealt with it yet. I haven't sorted it out. But it doesn't seem to be in the motor. I don't think, and it's not in the circuit board. You can turn it on here and it all works, everything. But when you press this button here and trigger to start it, something shorts out and it stops. So it could be a motor problem. I can't see where it's let the magic smoke out or anything. I'm still looking at that. This weekend, if I get time, I might sort that out because it'd be very useful to have it here. This chest here, if I could get most of this stuff in that chest, I would probably get rid of this. This is mostly micrometers, things like that. Measuring gear, parallels, drill set, tools, things like that. Loops, sine bar, which I've used at work 3 times since I've been here. There's another small hole micrometer. DTIs, just all that stuff. This one, measuring gear. Stephen Gotchwinter indicator. This one here is my pick and hook set. If someone's going to do gland packing, it's usually in this box. But I made this box for them on YouTube. We drew this up on YouTube on a Tuesday night and 3D printed it. It says here pick and hook set. It's just one of those cheap wooden handle pick and hook sets. My best set of 3 blocks are in there. sure, a gift from that lazy machinist he made on his YouTube channel. My expanding gauges are in there. I think Mark still owns one and has one of them. And the rest is machines and stuff. There's some screws that need putting away. What have we dropped? Something wasn't good for it. A more and right screwdriver set. More of the same. Screw assortments and stuff. Take care, Scott, and turn better. Now, this one has some very nice Bill Baggins knives in it. There you go. I knew I'd put them in here safely. Look at this. So, I might leave them in there for a bit until we've had a clean up and found somewhere to put them. And the reason those cotton buds are in there is sort of some cushioning. Radius gauges, roll pin assortments, angle meters, drill sets, model kit there that probably needs some work, hardness test files, all sorts of stuff. So all that stuff I reckon could probably go in that toolbox, and this chest of drawers and stuff could go somewhere else. So that's where I'm at with that. That's the plan. When it's going to happen, I don't know, but we'll get it bit by bit by bit. We've got pegboard here, and we've got more pegboard over there. So we're going to put that up around the back here, I think, on top of a bench or something. That's a plan. Anyway. This is disorganised. Anyway, I think I'm back, but I'm not going to stop because we do have a flat battery. I'm just going to point over here in the corner. I'm upstairs with my phone plugged in, and this is about all the range I've got. I'm probably going to end the stream because I don't think that I've got much else to say. I guess the thing I'm probably shopping for is a camera. I want something a bit decent. I don't know what to get because I live in the back blocks of the sticks. And this is in Sydney, actually. Just looking at it as a Nikon ZFC. Not a bad camera for $1,200. It looks really good, but it's in Sydney. Pick up only. Parramatta or Chatswood. Wentworth Point. Not going to happen. I'm not going in the city just to pick up a camera. I was looking for a Nikon 810 or something at the right price, and there was one at the right price, which gave me a feeling that that's what I was going to get, but it was too cheap and it must have sold almost immediately because I haven't managed to actually find another one at even double that price. Anyway, we'll keep looking. I want something reasonably local. I want something that's been looked after with low shutter count. I'm not sure I want a Z mount Nikon. That's $1,200 at ZF. The Nikon 850 was about $560 or something for $600, which was cheap, because they're still going at, sometimes in retail they're going at 1500, and it's an old camera now. So I don't really want to go to Nikon Z because it's a different lens mount. Yes, there's adapters available, but it's a pain in the... So I would rather stick to a Nikon F mount, I think. But an 810 or an 850 or even a 710 or a 750 would be all right. A 780 would be nice. But anyway, still looking. It might be a month or two. But I don't want to spend any more than about $800 on it. And there's other things to buy first, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. Anyway, that's aside. At this point, there's other jobs to do. I'm going to go and crawl into bed because I'm stuffed. And tomorrow's another big hot day. I've got about 30 -10 pick handles to sort. P100. The Flurf camera of choice. P1000. As opposed to a K1000, which is something completely different. I've got about 30 -pick special handles to do first up. Get them out of the way, and then I've got about 350 to 400. I think the actual figure's about 450, but I've already done quite a lot of them. 900 blockbuster handles, followed by 810 blockbuster handles. So that's what I'm doing for the next couple of days. And Friday I've got a huge box of bearings to put in machines, which is a bit exciting. So that's what I'm doing Friday. But tomorrow I'm making handles in the heat. Anyway. That's where we're at. I'm going to go to bed. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. More soon. We might be in a position to actually make some content at some point. Fingers crossed. Good downwind. Anyway, I'm out, and we'll catch ya.